You're listening to ADHD Support Talk. ADHD Support Talk is brought to you by addclasses.com. Visit www.addclasses.com to sign up for helpful online events and resources today. Well, hi there. I'm Lynne Edris, productivity and ADHD coach, and I'm really glad you're here. I am the co-host here of ADHD Support Talk and a woman with ADHD myself, and someone who's been coaching professionals and entrepreneurs for nearly 2 decades. I've helped thousands of people learn to take control of their time and follow through more easily so that they can perform at the level of their abilities consistently. If you haven't already, check out my website. You can learn more about me and the programs, services, and products I offer at www.coachingadvantages.com. But be sure to take my free productivity breakthrough quiz at www.productivitybreakthroughquiz.com to learn what's really getting in the way of your productivity and how to start turning it around. You'll get personalized results with recommendations to help you pinpoint your unique obstacles so that you can focus your efforts to get to the root of what's keeping you from taking control of your time and your life once and for all. So today we're talking about something that hits home for a lot of us, and that's being late. If punctuality has been a struggle for you, I see you. I've been you. I spent years running late, rushing out the door, apologizing profusely, feeling embarrassed, guilty, ashamed, and frustrated with myself. And even though I wanted to be on time, I really did, I wasn't. Not consistently anyway. I just couldn't seem to figure it out. And I came from a family full of ADHDers, so I definitely came about it honestly. I remember as a kid, my dad sitting in the driveway, honking the car horn as my poor mom tried to wrangle all four of us daughters into the car and get herself out the door to go just about anywhere. And we were always rushed, frantic, and behind. So I thought that's how it was for everyone until I went to college and realized there are lots of people out there who get where they are going with time to spare and walk into appointments and meetings calm, cool, collected, and ready to go. So while I felt like I was always blowing in at the last minute, like the Tasmanian devil in a whirlwind of energy and stress and frazzle. But what really drove this home hard for me was one time in particular when my kids were little. My husband had taken a new job that reduced his travel, so he was home a lot more and he was able to coach some of the kids' activities, which was wonderful for all of us. And it really cut down on my mom taxi time quite a bit, which was really, really wonderful for me. But there was this one time in particular that my husband was traveling and I was trying to wrangle the kids to take them to basketball practice. And I was doing my usual frantic, hurry up, let's go, we're going to be late, like just about every time I went anywhere. And my daughter, who was probably in second or third grade at the time, started crying. And she said, practice is way more fun when daddy takes us. And I probably said something like, for you and me both. But she went on to say, when daddy takes us, it's fun and it's easy. I can say hi to all my friends when they come, and I can be ready to start when it's time. When you take us, it's not relaxing. And she was spot on. And what she was trying to say was about being calm and peaceful and fully present and focused and ready to go on time. And that's how I wanted to feel too. Not just for them, not just for things like kids' activities, but for my own meetings, my own appointments, my own commitments. I didn't want to always be the last one in the room, blowing in a frantic flurry, feeling frazzled and flaky and self-conscious and always, always apologizing. I wanted to be present and confident and frankly calm. And eventually I realized it wasn't just about being disorganized or bad at planning. It was about how I was relating to time itself. Now, for a lot of adults with ADHD, lateness is one of those sneaky symptoms that causes more damage than we realize. It's not just about running behind, it's about how it makes us feel and how it makes other people perceive us. Many moons ago, I was doing a presentation on lateness, tardiness, and I was looking for another word for punctual. And when I looked it up in the thesaurus, I was shocked. the very first word listed as a synonym for punctual is actually the word dependable. And that hit me like a gut punch. Most of us, most of my clients really value being dependable and conscientious, and they really, really care about how they show up for other people. But the truth is, the rest of the world equates punctuality with things like dependability and reliability, and it really is all part and parcel of showing up for people and showing up for yourself. Chronic lateness can erode trust and credibility professionally and personally. It can leave us feeling ashamed and less than. It can feed that internal voice that's always saying, I can't get it together. And sadly, people often interpret lateness as being unreliable, inconsiderate, or even self-absorbed, which couldn't be further from the truth for most of us. But perception matters, especially in our work and in our relationships. Now, if you've tried to fix this, like me, you've probably also tried some of the typical usual tricks, right? Setting your clocks ahead, pretending your appointments are earlier than they are, even scheduling them that way, leaving sticky notes everywhere, reminding yourself of when to leave, even blocking time in your calendar for travel. So if you're like me and my clients, those tricks might seem helpful, but they rarely work long term. Why? Because it doesn't address the real actual problem, and because we're smarter than that. We're too smart to trick ourselves. When you know that clock is fast, you know that deadline's fake, you end up doing the mental math anyway, right? I even had an alarm clock one time, which was pretty amazing, that like gradually gained time. So it was always fast, but I never knew exactly how fast it was, which was wonderful. But that was one clock, and it didn't change my relationship with time, and it didn't change any of what was really at the root of my struggles with chronic lateness. That's why fixing chronic lateness take more than tips and tricks. It takes changing your relationship with time, how you think about time, how you feel time, and even how you define what it means to be early or on time for something. One of the things that helped me tremendously, and I know it sounds overly simple, was surrounding myself with analog clocks, not digital clocks, analog clocks, old school clocks with actual hands. So here's why. Digital clocks show you the numbers, of course, but analog clocks give you a visual representation of time passing. That tiny shift changes how your brain processes what time is and what time means. So, for example, if I have to leave or do something at 8 o'clock, when I see 7:58 on a digital clock, my ADHD brain automatically thinks I've got 2 minutes. What else can I do in 2 minutes? What can I squeeze into 2 minutes? What's one more thing, two more things I can do, right? So it's trying to fill that space of 2 minutes. But when I see the hands on a digital clock hovering around 7:58, my gut reaction is more like, oh crap, I got to get moving. So you start to feel time differently. You can see it moving and you can start to feel it moving. You can sort of see the wedge of time disappearing. It bypasses the math and taps straight into urgency and the flow. Now, I've got analog clocks everywhere in my office, in my kitchen, even above my shower. I even use an app that keeps an analog clock face up on my phone when it's locked. So these little adjustments have made a big difference in how I manage transitions and show up on time more consistently. I also wouldn't dare going anywhere without a watch. And I know that's old school, and a lot of people don't wear watches anymore because we always have our phones with us. But here's the deal, guys. It takes a lot more initiative. It takes a lot more intentionality, and it's actually an interruption to have to stop and unlock your phone to see what time it is. Even if your phone unlocks with face recognition, it takes more intentionality and it creates more of an interruption than glancing at your watch face. And that has made a big difference for me as well. And of course, I have a smartwatch, but I keep an analog clock face on my smartwatch as well. So I'm not just doing the what can I squeeze in math all day long. Again, the analog clock face has made a huge difference for me. And it's also important to really understand that being on time isn't about being perfect. Okay? It doesn't mean that you have to exactly be on time every single time. It's about doing better, but it's really about reclaiming your confidence, reclaiming your calm, and reclaiming your presence. It's about building self-trust. It's about showing up for yourself and showing up for your goals, in addition to showing up for the people and the things that matter to you. And it's about not starting your days in that frantic rush that throws everything off. And you can absolutely learn to be on time more often, even if you have ADHD like me. But it starts with approaching the problem differently. You have to address what's going on between your ears that's getting in the way of you being punctual, and then giving yourself tools that actually work with your brain, not against it. So if punctuality is one of those lingering struggles you're ready to finally get a handle on, I would love to help. I do have a self-paced coaching course, online course, that's called You Can Be on Time. It's full of ADHD-friendly strategies that go far beyond quick fixes, and it's about rewiring how you relate to time, how you relate to punctuality, so that you can stop racing the clock and start feeling calm, confident, and in control. Check it out on my website, coachingadvantages.com. There's a tab on the drop-down menu where I have courses and products. And if you are listening to this, in as I'm releasing it, it's April of 2025. I have a 50% off promotion going on that we will honor through May 1st, 2025. If you enter the promo code April 2025 on time, so that's April 2025 on time, all one word, no spaces. In the coupon code, promo code area, you'll get 50% off that course. Okay. I'll put that information on the podcast webpage as well as in the show notes on the podcast platforms as well. So I hope you'll take advantage of that if that's something that would be helpful for you. But you really can be on time. You're not lazy. You're not selfish. You're definitely not passive aggressive, and you're not broken. You just need the right strategies, and you need to address it from the inside out and get a better understanding of how your brain experiences time and change your relationship with it. So I hope you found something helpful here. You've got this. I want to thank you for being here. I'd love to hear what works for you, what comes up for you as you explore this. You can join the conversation with us in the ADHD Support Talk community on Facebook. You can comment on the video on YouTube or on the podcast webpage. And be sure to subscribe and leave a 5-star review if you found this episode helpful on your favorite podcast platform so that more people can find the help and the support they need to live well with ADHD as well. As always, I appreciate your attention. Until next time, take care. Again, I'm Coach Lynne Edris of coachingadvantages.com.